Alright, here I am at the airport. I'm going to have to manually do the audio in this video because a lot of it, due to my speaker on my iPhone, you can't make it out at all, and I didn't realize that, how bad the speakers got until after I was editing some of this, and then I realized you couldn't hardly hear a thing I was saying. So you'll see me talking and my mouth moving in this video, but I'm going to be editing over it. There I am in Chicago when I landed there. It's the first time I've ever been there. So they flew me to Chicago, and from Chicago, they got me a Lyft ride to the Gary, Indiana terminal. And that's where I got my CDL at to begin with. If you watch the videos of me getting my CDL, that's where I got it at, was the Gary, Indiana terminal. And Chicago's really close to that. It was about a 40-minute drive or something like that in the Lyft. That's the longest Lyft ride I ever had. There I am in it right there. It was, as I said, it was a pretty long ride, and the flight was wasn't too long, the flight, but waiting is what took so long, because I got there way early at the airport and ended up waiting there about 3 hours or something like that. So it ended up being a pretty long day by the time I got to the hotel. This time they put me in Best Western, I think it is. They're pretty nice, a lot nicer than those Comfort Inns. I love those little fire things they got in them. Well, I think the Comfort Inn had one of those too, though, the little fire thing. I think those are nice. I'll probably try to get us one of those, like the little electric fireplaces later on. Which later on I'm wanting to get an actual fireplace as well, or a wood stove. I ended up spending, I think, 2 nights in that hotel altogether. So the first night, I got there pretty much at night. It was around 6 or 7. It was getting dark when I got there. And here's the next day, as it says. And the next day, I went to the terminal there, the Gary, Indiana terminal, and I did my what they call the skills test, but they call it a refresher when you've already done it. And I guess the whole reason I had to do that is just because they sent me home for a week where they didn't have a truck ready for me. So I had to do the skills test again there. And I passed it. There's a group of people training right there. That's the exact location that I trained at. Some of you all that mentioned going to Gary, some of y'all may be there actually in that clip. All right, there I am in the Walmart parking lot, and that's in one of the company vehicles that they loan you when you're at the terminals. And this is why I had to manually do the audio. I did a lot of talking, probably 30-40 minutes of it. Not right there, but throughout this video. And I'm having to manually redo it because of the audio, the mic being messed up on my phone. I bought that bag. That's something I definitely recommend you having ahead of time. Before you even go with your trainer, I would get a bag similar to that one. I had like one of those big bags with the wheels on it, and honestly, I think those are too big. They're more trouble on the plane, and like you've got to check them in a different way and everything, and then they take up more space with your trainer. And the kind of bag there, you can actually put a pillow on top of it if you want to, and that way it's not taking up too much space. But yeah, I think I gave around $19 for that one. There was one almost just like it, but it was a different name brand, and I think it was $34, so I ended up just buying that one. I bought some more things since then as well. I bought like a little tripod for my phone, and then I bought it's like a phone mount, that goes on the dash, but this one actually goes on the window. It's sticky and it goes on the window. Those company cars are nice. They keep them maintained very well. They drive really good. The brakes and everything work really well on them. Alright, looks like I'm back at the hotel. I think at this point right here I had passed. Yep, I'm getting my bags, and that's where I'm leaving the hotel for good at that point. They told me they got my truck ready for me, finally. So the first night, I stayed the night there. The next day, I went and did my refresher, and then the next day, they got my truck. So I think right here I'm about to head to get my truck in a lift. And that was a process as well. And so you'll probably go through that same thing if you go through Roehl, or maybe even some other companies. You'll probably have to do a refresher too, I'm guessing, because my trainer told me I think the last 4 or 5 people had to do refreshers. Or so they had to go home. They didn't have a truck ready for them. And here's the truck. There's a sheet they gave me, and any damages that were on the truck, I was supposed to write them down and circle them on the truck. That way I don't get held accountable for those damages in the future. As you can see, it's pretty empty. They have it looks like a new mattress there. But other than that, this truck is pretty empty. which is good, really. It'd be better, of course, if they had a mini fridge and stuff in it, but so far, you'll see later, I got me like a little electric frying pan. I've got that red bag there, and then I go and get me some more stuff that you'll see here a little bit later. Just basic things for comfort and stuff. But I definitely want to get me a headset. I want to get me a GPS. That looks like a TV mount or something right there on the wall. And there's the bunk up there. That comes down. It's a lot more spacious when you got it up, but I kind of like it down because you can use it as storage. Like right now, I've got mine down, and I've got my bags up there, so they're not down here in the middle of the floor. I'm actually sitting at a truck stop right now editing this video. So I've edited this video a few different times, but I was so tired last night I ended up not finishing it, and I had to get up early this morning. At this point right now, like the video, the part that you're watching was from yesterday. And I got up early this morning and did my first run by myself. It went good. I went from Gary, Indiana to Missouri. It was around 340 miles. And then from there, I went to about 40 more miles to another place in Missouri. And now I'm heading towards Wisconsin. So today I drove 450 some miles altogether, which isn't too bad. I'm pretty happy with that. I'd like to hit 500 really if I can, but I'm pretty happy with it. I'm actually at a Love's truck stop right now. I was able to get in here. I got up around 4 this morning, left out around 5, and now it is, let's see, 7 o'clock at night. So I'm pretty tired right now. I'm editing this video, just trying to get the rest of it done. That way I can go ahead and post it. I was wanting to do that last night, but I was so tired. Knew I had to get up early, so I went ahead and went to bed. But as you can see, it's got everything you need. These trucks do. That heater right there, it works. It runs on batteries when the engine's off, and works pretty well. And every now and then the engine will kick on, I guess, to charge those batteries by itself, and then it'll kick itself back off. But as you can see, there's plenty of space in these trucks too. I mean, for one man, it's all the space that you need. Really, even for 2 people, it's all the space that you need. Honestly, it might be a little more cramped, but you could live just fine with 2 people. Like lots of people do that, husbands and wife and stuff like that partner together. But yeah, it was so that this point right here that you're seeing was, I was so excited to finally get in that truck and know that it's my truck to use, you know. And I've got a different fleet manager now. Amanda, yesterday was I think the last time I'll be talking to her. I talked to her yesterday, and I liked her a lot. And she told me something that was very interesting to me. She said that she recommended to somebody that after my 6 months was up, that I could be a trainer if I wanted to, and you can make more money being a trainer. I don't know that I'll ever take that route, though, just because I like having my space to myself, and a trainer is a complete opposite of that. A trainer, you're with somebody, you know, pretty much all the time, as far as I know. So I probably won't ever take that route, but it was nice to hear that I did well enough, you know, in phase 2 is what she called it. I did well enough in phase 2 that they would, I'm eligible to be a trainer. But yeah, this is just kind of a tour of the inside. As you can see, they're pretty nice looking trucks. The International and Freightliner look different, but I honestly, I like the Freightliner better myself. I've only been in the International once. I've been in the Freightliners a lot. That's what I got my CDL in. That's what I went with my trainer in. Pretty much all I've drove in, but I actually did my skills test the first time in the International. And the International does have more space because it doesn't have a top bunk in the back. But I like having the bunk better myself. Now here's some of the stuff they give you. He gave me a box with all kinds of stuff in it. That little sheet there is, I have to find mine and to even see what the thing's called. Some of you all may know. But anyways, you pretty much write everything about your loads down on it. And he also gave me, let's see what else. I think I showed all here. Okay, there's the seals. He gave me a lot of those, and those are to put on your doors, of course, and that you can replenish those at the maintenance shop. There are some spare fuses and some spare tire valve caps. Sorry, I'm tired. Tire valve caps. And then there were some checks. I've never had to use those yet. And then there's a lock for your brake valves. He told me a story, actually, the guy that gave me that, and he said that some guy was able to break into one of these trucks. That right there is for your kingpin on your trailer. I'll be using that, actually, on mine when I go home. But some guy told me a story where somebody had broken in recently into a rail truck, and that with a saw and a torch, and that little plastic lock right there somehow beat them. I don't know how, but he said they couldn't get that off of there. I don't know if maybe they called them before they could get it off or what. But as you can see, there were some bungees, there were some straps, there was a door lock, that other lock, that's for your trailer doors. And another thing too that's really good that I'm very happy about, because I was wanting to make sure that I could bring my truck home. There's a truck stop, a Pilot, the closest one from me. It's in my county, but it's not in my city, so it's about 15 minutes away or so. And I would have had to get a ride home and everything every weekend when I go home from there. But I found a place close, and she asked me yesterday, Amanda did. She said, "Look, we've got to have a couple places for you that are options for you to park the truck and trailer before I can let you take it tomorrow." And so I sent her that Pilot that I'm talking about as my secondary, and she told me to send her a primary. And I called around there. I called a gas station. The gas station said they didn't have enough spaces. And I called we're called White Lightning Fireworks there where I live, in the city that I live in. And it's always empty, their parking lot. They just pretty much just sell fireworks during the 4th of July, and then he sells flowers on Memorial Day. And other than that, I don't know what he does really, because it's always empty. But anyways, he said no to. So I think it's a Mennonite store. It's either Amish or Mennonite. I think it's Mennonite. It's called Kingfishers there in Jeffersonville. And anyways, I called that guy, and because I seen they had trucks in and out there, and I told him the situation, and I told him, I said, "Do you happen to park trucks there? Allow trucks to park there?" And I said, "I'd be willing to pay, to do that." And to my surprise, he actually said I can park it there, so I can park my trailer there and drive my truck home, which is about 3 miles from there. My wife just sent me a message. I was seeing what she said. But anyways, I know this isn't the best setup for right now, but I just wanted to go ahead and keep making a video. I'm waiting on my fleet manager to call. I think she's on lunch right now. It's around 12:19 here in Gary, Indiana. She's in Wisconsin, I think, so I think those are the same time zones, if I'm not mistaken. But anyways, this is awesome. This is the part I've been looking forward to, is getting the truck and showing a tour of the truck and everything like that. And here it is finally. So this is awesome. So I've kind of went over the truck already a little bit. I'll try to go over a little bit more. I've got you set on the top bunk right now. Behind me is, you pretty much see the ceiling of the cab. But I don't know where I'm going from here. Like, I've got to wait on my fleet manager. They may be sending me straight from here to a load. I don't know. Right now, I did my pre-trip. I'm in sleeper berth on break. And so just waiting to hear back from her right now. And which is fine with me, because that gives me time to do some of this. I enjoy this. I enjoy making videos. And honestly, I encourage other people to do it if they enjoy it, and if so long as it's about good things. Because you meet other people that you like. You meet them in person, like the guy that I met earlier. I was able to talk to him again just now. And he recognized me from YouTube. I guess he had been researching Roehl, and he said, "That's the guy from YouTube," when he seen me. So that's pretty neat. And I ran into him again just now and got to talk to him for a little bit longer that time, and I was happy that I did, because the first time I didn't really get to talk to him as long as I wanted to. Anyways, here it is. I got the truck. This is my truck. The number, I think, is 3646, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to check and confirm that, though. I'm not positive. I think it's 3646. It's a 2021 Freightliner. And so I've got, I've got this extra bunk that I wanted, because I really want Carter to come with me. And I'm definitely getting a little dog. I don't know if I'm getting a pug or not. I want a pug really bad, but my wife is suspecting that one of my little girls has allergies to animals now all of a sudden, even though we've had animals for years. Tomorrow I'm starting my diet, finally, that I've been talking about, because I've been waiting to get my truck, because I want to have everything organized and in place, and then stick with it. And not only that, have the money to do it. Not that it's real expensive. That I'm kind of going to do like a low carb diet again, kind of maybe like the carnivore, maybe even carnivore mainly. Honestly, one good thing about it was it filled me up really good. Anyways, I'm not going to get on diet stuff. I'm really excited right now, if you can't tell. I'm just saying that's definitely something I plan to do. I definitely plan to get me a couple dumbbells and start lifting weights again. I'm not lifting weights to have a prideful look. I just want to lift weights because normally I do physical work, and if I'm gonna be doing this, dry van, it's not physical. So I definitely plan to maybe every morning, get up, try to have a routine, pray, and then lift some weights for a little bit, do sit-ups, stuff like that, push-ups, whatever. Just take 20 minutes a day, even. Because you can see big results just doing that if you stay consistent with it. But anyways, and then eating healthier, and then just getting used to this truck and getting comfortable with it. The computer, I can't even remember what that little thing's called. I keep calling it the computer because that's what it is, but it's called something specific. Anyways, getting used to that thing. Getting used to driving, I'm comfortable with to an extent, of course, now, because I did it for a little bit. But yeah, I think it's going to take me a long time, of course, to get real comfortable with it. And even then, I want to be careful. I'm not going to be trying to drive out here driving crazy. It's dangerous enough as it is when you're driving safe because of other drivers. But yeah, I'm very excited. This is the point I've been wanting to get to. We're finally here. I've talked to a lot of other people on YouTube that are excited about doing the same thing, and I'm kind of surprised to see that because, I'm a firewood channel most of the time. I don't consider myself a firewood channel. I started out like that. Started out actually bushcraft, and then did a little firewood, and it took off, and I said, well, I do this for a living, so I'll show it anyways. And that's why I showed that, I'm pretty much showing my life, and getting to talk to meet friends, meet new friends and new people, and hear about their lives as well. And that's what I've said before. That's what I want to do with my life is try to help other people on their journeys as well, and try to be a light to people, like Jesus would want me to be. But that's what I want to do, and that's YouTube gives you that reach. That's one thing I like about YouTube. Lots of things I don't agree with it, but what I do like about it, I can't control certain things, but I can control what I do. And so that's on my channel. All I can do is control what I do, and I want to do my best to be a positive person. I'm a happy person most of the time. I really am. I've got on serious subjects before on here and things that people call controversial, and but I just like to look. I'm old-fashioned. I believe in the Bible. I look at what's right and what's wrong, and I go by that, But I'm a positive person. I'm a happy person. Of course, we all get down sometimes, but I'm one of those kind of people that's very hopeful even in the bad times. I don't lose hope easy, I always look at, well, I can work at this and do better. Yeah, it may be a tough time. It may be bad right now, but I can work through this and get through this, I'm 30. I just turned 32 years old. I look older than I am. Everybody thinks I'm older than I am. I just turned 32 the 10th of this month, February 10th. And I'm very happy with my life, very blessed. As far as I know, I'm healthy. I feel good. I'm happy. I've got healthy children and a wife and a home, a roof over our heads. So I've got so much to be thankful for. Having food and raiment, let us be therewith content, the Bible says. Having food and raiment. That means having food and clothes, let us be therewith content. I've got a lot more than that, and you probably do too, so got a lot to be thankful for. And this experience, I'm thankful for this. I met a man too yesterday. Actually, I didn't meet him. I'd already met this man, but he ended up being the one that did my refresher, and his name's Bill. Really good guy, really, and I could tell that from him before. I could tell he was a good guy, and he's the one that actually mentioned when I was in the classroom something that really stuck with me. And he said, your children, when they're little, they don't understand why you're gone. All they know is that you're gone. And that really stuck with me when he said that, because I was thinking, yeah, that's very true. He hit the nail on the head saying that. And well, anyways, he's the one that gave me my refresher, which is pretty much a skills test again that they made me do, because they sent me home for a week, and where I was home for that long, they wanted to give me a refresher. I did that with him, passed it and everything. And me and him got to talking, and he texted me after that. Like he sent me a link to a video actually, and the video was a woman talking. I guess she was had been a doctor, and she died. She actually did die, and had an experience with God, and it changed her outlook on life. And then after that, she told a lot of people about it, and it impacted them a lot. And so the man's Christian, seemed like to me, from talking to him. And then I kind of we got to talking back and forth a little bit, and he said, it was an honor meeting you. He said. And I said, you as well. And it helped me spiritually talking to him, because there's lots of people out there that like to talk about that nowadays. And so running into a man out here in Gary, Indiana, at a rail terminal where I'm working, it was a privilege and a blessing to get to talk to him, and it helped me spiritually. It did. And so his name is Bill. He's a really good guy. If you ever come here to Gary, Indiana, and you see him, his name is Bill. He's a great guy. He's a great guy and a knowledgeable guy, and somebody that I believe is very good at his profession, what he does and everything. And just a good person anyways, just the kind of person that I like to be around, honestly. But anyways, I know I'm rambling a little bit. I like to talk, as you know, if you've seen some of my videos, I can talk and talk and talk. And I think that part of the reason why is because I'm like that with myself. The way I'm talking right now in here, I do that in my own head all the time. And sometimes out loud without realizing it. My wife makes fun of me, but I'm always thinking of stuff in my head. And if you can see, I'm a real energy, even though I'm a bigger guy, not real like a real big tall guy. I'm not a tall guy. I'm the average height guy, but big for my height. And but I've got a lot of energy. And my little boy Camden's like that too, if you ever notice. He's very energetic. So even that energy, not just physical energy, but it's like mentally I'm always moving. And I've got to calm myself down sometimes, I've got to slow myself down and kind of just relax. Like right now I'm really like that, if you can't tell, but I'm just really excited. This is a moment I've been waiting for. There was 3 weeks to get my CDL, and there was ups and downs in that. And it wasn't the easiest thing for me financially. And then I got sent home for a while. That got delayed for a little bit, me getting sent home before I got to go out with my trainer, because my family had sickness and got sickness and sick, and I got sick as well, so they made me stay home for a while. And then I got to go out with my trainer for, I think it was 24, 25 days, something like that. Then after that, they sent me home for a week and then brought me back out here to Gary, Indiana. I came out and done my refresher, and now here I am getting my truck finally. And I'm very thankful to be at this point. So it's been quite a process leading up to this, over 2 months, I think. Right around 2 months. So expect that, if you're starting, expect it to be around 2 months before you actually start driving on your own. If you're going through the get your own CDL program and everything. But I definitely think it's worth it. I'm very happy. This is a career. This is a life change. And this is, like I said, there's many reasons this job appeals to me. One of them being that, like right now, I've got this truck to myself. This is my space. I love that. And throughout the day, I'll have my space. Of course, I'll deal with customers for a little bit when I'm there, but not really. You don't really deal with them a whole lot, honestly. Or in my experience so far, I haven't had to. It's usually just doing paperwork. They tell you you're good to go. You're at the dock. You sit there and let them load you. Then they give you the paperwork back, and you may have to sign some things, and then you leave. Pretty much it. Check in and check out the guard shack and everything like that. That may be my last soda pap for a while. Try to go back to water, green tea, and coffee. I definitely got to furnish this truck, though, because like right now I have no way to keep food good in here. I plan to try to get me a mini fridge soon. Today is Tuesday, and so I'm not sure how it's going to go from here. I'm not sure if they're sending me from here, straight on to a customer, and then, I'm regional, so I'll be home Monday through Friday, or there's my fleet manager. I'll be back. Kind of back to what I was saying earlier, though, that Mennonite man, he agreed that I could park there, and he said we would work something out, so that made me very happy, because I honestly didn't know that I'd be able to find a place close enough where I could park it. And especially after talking to Amanda yesterday, because she told me it had to be within 5 miles of your home in order for you to leave the trailer without the truck, and you can put a kingpin lock on the trailer so that somebody doesn't steal it, or at least it makes it less likely. But even still, it has to be within 5 miles of your home, and that place happened to be within 3 miles. So here are some things that she called me and told me I had to get to, and I bought the cheaper versions of it. Like I would recommend getting better. Like that thing's fine, just for the inside. Now for the trailer, you've got to sweep that out too. Honestly, I would recommend leaf blower for that, electric leaf blower, and that's what I'm planning to get. But that I got for the tires, that little cheap hammer. I've got a better one at home that I plan to switch out when I get home, and I'm just going to give my wife that little hammer. And then I just bought that little eye scraper. Those are 3 things she said you have to have before you can launch. So that's something to keep in mind. I would highly recommend to go ahead and get them things before you get your truck. I think here I'm just kind of showing the truck a little bit more. You can see there that was kind of like a closet. There's plenty of cabinet space. There's a place there for a mini fridge. There's a place there under your bunk where you can hook up. There's 2 more outlets, and let's see, there's like almost like a cutting board. It looks like he cooked on it, whoever had it before. These trucks really have everything you need to be comfortable, honestly. Here's the computer that you kind of got to get yourself familiar with and everything. There's the pre-plan he sent me. And so what that is just kind of telling me my first job. That's the very first pre-plan that I got from my fleet manager. And right there, I'm sitting in the parking lot at the terminal in Gary, Indiana. As you can see, there's some of the people over there training. Same exact area I trained in. Maybe even the same truck I trained with right there. I'm not sure. I did see my instructor as well. Now I just caught a glimpse of them, and I seen some of the other instructors that were there as well when I was there. So you can expect to probably see the same people a lot where you go to the terminals quite a bit. Like tomorrow, where I'm taking the load that I have right now is to the terminal in Wisconsin. But there's my truck right there. I love it. Nice. They're nice looking trucks. It's a 2001 Freightliner. 3646 is my truck number. So if you ever see 3646, that's me. At least for the time being, you know, unless I maybe later on get a different truck. But it's a nice looking truck. I like it. My Trainer's was a 2023. It definitely had some features that mine doesn't have. One thing that I like about that one better, the older ones, is the doors close easier on them. I think that was the main downfall with my Trainers was the doors, for whatever reason. You have to almost slam on them. If you don't, and get them closed really good, then when you try to pull your parking brake valves out so you can drive, your horn starts beeping and it tells you to close the door. There's the little electric skillet I got. It's nothing fancy. Honestly, I would recommend probably trying to do your research, because when I used that thing, it kept setting this thing off back here. I don't know what you call it. It's some electrical thing on the wall back there. Some kind, I don't know what you call that. Some of y'all might know better than me. But it kept making it beep really bad. So might do some research as to what would work best cooking with in a truck. And I just got me a comforter set. Got that water bottle because I knew I was quitting drinking pop, and I wanted to have a way to drink my water and have it right there where I could grab it, you know, in my cup holder. That's just stew meat right there. Because I'm trying to kind of like do the carnivore diet in a way. I actually only ate twice today. Once was like early this morning, then I ate just now. And it wasn't that like real healthy, like strict like I was before. It was a sub from Subway. But, and some boiled eggs. I ate a couple boiled eggs that they had in the truck stop. But I haven't had the chance really to stock up on food good yet. But that comforter out there made it seem a lot more homey back there, you know. And I bought me a couple pillows. I need to get some pillow sheets for those. As I said, I got the electric cooker. And what I did was I took the company vehicle there at that terminal in Gary, Indiana, and I drove it from the terminal to Walmart, and I was able to buy this stuff there. That thing worked really good. Like, it cooked really good, but it just kept setting the I don't know what it's called. It's the electric panel on that wall over there. And I guess, you know, with the truck off, it kept setting it off. There's where I hooked it into. It kept beeping, and eventually it would just go off. But when I started the truck, it quit beeping entirely. So maybe what it was the batteries, that thing right there. Maybe the batteries just didn't have enough juice, or it was drawing too much, you know. And that's what the beeping was. Because I remember my Trainers would do that. Whenever I would use his microwave, his would beep like that. Never to the point to where that one did, though. Because that one actually shut off by itself, and I had to keep turning it back on. And then when I started the truck, though, it solved the issue. So I do remember my Trainer, he used the George Foreman grill a lot, and he like he toasted us some sandwiches and made them really good. Like, he bought those, you know, those big long loaves of bread that aren't cut yet. He bought those and would cut them and make us sandwiches with them, and man, he did a really good job with them. They were really good. But I do remember now that he always did that while I was driving. So maybe that's why his didn't beep. So I'm going to try to, oh yeah, listen to that. Listen to that. I happened to meet a guy too, I don't know if I mentioned that or not, but at the terminal there in Gary, who said he recognized me from YouTube, and he had even commented on one of the videos and said, welcome to the family. So it's really nice to meet him if he's watching. I wish the best for him. And as always, I appreciate you all watching. Thank you so much for the kind words and everything. The support means a whole lot to me, and I'm looking forward to this journey. And anybody else that decides to try this out, I wish you the best in it. Whatever you're doing, so long as it's good, I wish you the best, and I hope that God blesses you in it. Thank you so much for the support.